I put my heart, I put my eyes, I put my everything just to make sure that we are all unstoppable. It's 103.5 Unical Radio International this morning. We're quickly saying good morning. How are you feeling this morning and how are you doing? Thank God it's Friday, of course. And the Morning Burst show. Of course, it's your favorite show every morning. We bring to you, serving you like very hot like a breakfast. My name is Obase Oitomson. Of course, I'm going to be your morning companion right away. Don't forget, today is the 27th day in the month of March in the year 2026, and that was unstoppable at Seattle right away this morning. Okay, so quickly this morning, let's quickly take you through what we have. But we're asking you, how are you feeling this morning? What's going on in your area? What's that one thing you have done? What's that one thing you really want to do? And what's that thing you're actually planning? What's going on in your area? What's going on in your hostel? What's the challenge is? Have they charged you more than you've ever expected to be charged this morning? Oh my goodness, I was actually carried free of charge. Okay, so I really did not, have a lot of things to say. Hey, this is how much I'm being charged this morning. So we're asking you, how were you charged this morning? Did you feel a bit uncomfortable? Did you feel a bit disturbed? Do you feel a bit kind of hey, this is not how much you're supposed to charge me, I am not happy with how much you're charging me and all of that? Okay, so get to talk to us this morning. What is going on in your area? That's what we're asking here this morning. So get to talk to us this morning. The phone numbers to send your messages to 0809 So what's going on in your area? Get to talk to us this morning.
Alpha.
Okay, so right away this morning, just don't forget that we'll be going on a short music break. I'll be doing something with Die With A Smile, and this is coming from Lady Gaga. Stay tuned and don't touch the dial. Yes, I so love this track so much from Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars, and they call this one, Die With A Smile. So whatever you're doing this weekend, don't forget, don't die, Umbo. Yeah, you don't have to die, okay? You don't have to kill yourself. You don't have to do anything that will hurt yourself, okay? So right away this morning, let's quickly take you through the weather forecast this morning. Our time check is 37 on the DOT. On the weather forecast segment, don't forget that Calabar will be warm, humid, and mostly cloudy, with a chance of scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, especially later in the day. Our temperatures will stay between 25 and 34 degrees Celsius. But from the hours of 6 to 12 p.m. today, we're going to have temperatures around 25 degrees Celsius and 30 degrees. Rain chances around 20 to 30 degree, I beg your pardon. Low but possible, like showers. Conditions mostly cloudy, humid with brief sunny intervals. On the practical tip, don't forget, it's a very good window for errands. Heat is mild. Hydrate early and humidity will rise fast. But from the afternoon hours of 12 to 5 p.m., temperatures ranges around 31 degrees Celsius to 34 degrees Celsius. Rain chances around 40 to 50%. Chances of scattered rain or isolated storms. Conditions hot, very humid, cloudy with possible brief rainfall. A practical tip, don't forget to limit long outdoor activity. Heat index with fuel higher. Keep an umbrella or light raincoat nearby. From the evening hours of 6 p.m. to 11 p.m., temperatures ranges around 27 degrees Celsius. Rain chances to 40 to 55%. Possible evening showers or thunderstorms. Conditions are mostly cloudy, a slightly breeze, a potential rain late evening. Practical tip: plan for possible delays of commuting. Indoor activities more comfortable due to humidity. In summary, temperatures ranges around 25 degrees to 34 degrees Celsius. Rain chances 20 in the morning and up to 55 by evening. In general advisory, expect a hot and humid day with fair chances of rain, especially later on. Stay hydrated, protected yourself from heat, and of course, keep rain gear handy. Okay, so we've been talking about caliber rain. Wherever you are, wherever whatever you're doing, ensure that you stay safe, you stay hydrated, and of course, you need to stay in such a pleasant, venues where you, in case it rain heavy, you can just take a little shade. Okay, so that's pretty much what we'll be doing from the weather forecast this morning. Let's quickly go on a short, a music break, and when we are back, the national segment will follow suit. Okay, so right away, I'll be doing something from The Fate of Ophelia. This is coming from Taylor Swift. Stay tuned and don't touch the dial. Like Ophelia, and so the fate of Ophelia. Okay, so this is coming from Taylor Swift. I love good music, and thank God it's Friday. Yeah, for most of you are actually preparing to go visit, go spend the weekends and all of that. You're done with your exams and all of that, so you're actually going to have a nice time. So all of these things really, you should listen to this music. So so as you prepare yourself, you have to prepare appropriately. Don't forget to tell someone where you're actually going. So yeah, don't worry, I'll give you more much more advisories, for the day, for the weekend. Okay, so right away here, let's quickly dive to the national holidays segment. And today on our first on our national holidays segment, we have the National Whiskey Day. Oh my goodness, I wish I could just give you a little history of most of our politicians who love whiskey. If you know, you know. Okay, so right away this morning, today is the National Whiskey Day. So this is just a soft, drinks, soft wines, being made from kind of grains, corns, and all of that, wheat, millets, and all of that. So mixed together, and so it's giving you the best, favorite, flavors that you could ever imagine. So today, just make a walk, take a little walk downtown, and also get some little sip. Don't take too much. Just have a little sip is just good for your body, man. If you ask me, do I used to take it? I was just thinking, do I? Okay, so second on our national holidays. It's World Theatre Day. Okay, so we'll give it out to our wonderful theatre students from the Department of Faculty of Arts, okay, particularly. Okay, so right away, we celebrate all of you and we wish you guys the very best. Thank you for all the things you're doing. Thank you for, keeping our homes a very wonderful place to be where we stay at home, feel relaxed, get entertained, get to see a whole lot of good characters, a whole lot of good, scenes, and then trust me, I really love it so much, especially when it has to do with okay, let me not just mention that. But of course, we're going to be celebrating all of you. We thank you so much for all you're doing. And today is that day. We just hope that within the University of Calabar, we're going to have you guys, come out to display all those your wonderful costumes and all of that. All right. So that's pretty much what we'll be doing today from the national, segments of the national holidays. Okay. So right away here, we'll go on a short music break. And when we are back, don't forget we have a whole lot lined up here for you. And this is, a Show Me Love by Widek, Bees, and Honey. Stay tuned and don't touch the dial. right away, when I come over, you just have to show me love. That is just what you need to do right away this morning on 103.5 Unicall Radio International. If you're just joining us, time check. It's 7:48 on the duty, and I am your morning companion today. Oh, don't forget. Yeah, Sharon and Vine decided to leave me all alone. But I am not going to walk alone because you are there for me. So, right away here, let's quickly take you through the health and wellness segments that we have for you. And on today's health and wellness segment, we're going to be talking about one fruit that most persons, detest. And one fruit that a lot of persons say, hey, 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 I love this particular fruit so, so, so much. And then I'm going to do everything to get it today. I'm going to do everything to get it tomorrow. I'm going to do everything to get it over the weekend. And so this fruit is so special and so unique. And so right away here, let's quickly turn to mango. So we're going to be telling you about the health benefits of eating mangoes. All right, so whereas we have different types, species of mangoes, I think I will start with this one they call Opiororo. I don't know who actually gave that particular mango that name. We have a whole lot. Grade one, we have kerosene mangoes, we have my village mango, we have your village mango too. So whichever mango you want, but we're talking about mango. Yes, so I think I love this particular one. You have to use knife, be ask, yeah, to actually cut them, before you can enjoy it, especially when they are so ripe. Trust me, you will love it so much. It's so beautiful. It's so lovely. It's so fantastic. Oh my goodness. So right away, let me give you a quick preamble, perhaps this. Mangoes are more than just a sweet, refreshing fruit. They are packed with nutrients that, actually support overall health. Now, whether eaten fresh, blended in smoothies, or added to meals, mangoes deliver vitamins, antioxidants, and fiber that help the body function better. Now, their natural sweetness also makes them a healthier alternative to sugary snacks. That's so fantastic. Oh my goodness, I just feel like having just mango. I don't know whether I could just have one already on the show. Now, health benefits of eating mangoes. All right, so it actually boosts immune system. Now, mangoes are rich in vitamin C, vitamin A, and antioxidants, all of which help strengthen the immune systems and support the body's ability to fight infections. You get that right? That's just very fantastic. Secondly, it also supports eye health. Now, they contain vitamins A, lutein, and zeaxanthin, nutrients that help protect vision, reduce dryness, and support overall eye function. Okay, so mango also helps in digestion. It actually aids digestion. Okay, so mangoes provide dietary fiber and neutral enzymes that help improve digestions, prevent constipations, and support healthy bowel movements. So you heard that very well, right? So if you are tired, some persons, literally so much key into oranges. Yeah, it's good you have oranges, but trust me, this is mango playing its own key pivotal role. Oh my goodness, I love that one. Oh, I love this particular one also that has to do with good for skin health. The antioxidants and vitamins in mangoes help reduce inflammation, and promotes collagen formation and support clearer, healthier looking skin. Oh my goodness, I just feel like touching my skin and then thinking about having more mangoes to eat and all of that. So you out there, if you're thinking about yeah, I think there are some creams I get to see in the market that have a lot of mangoes. Yeah, they say, oh, mangoes are also added to it to help you have a good skin, moisturizing skin, and all of that. Oh my goodness, I think I love that particular one also. It helps maintain heart health. They contain potassium, magnesium, and antioxidants that help regulate blood pressure and support overall heart function. It provides energy as well. Mangoes are a good source of natural sugars and carbohydrates, giving the body a quick and healthy energy boost. Support healthy weight management. The fiber keeps you full longer, reducing unnecessary snacking, while the nutrients support a balanced diet. Wow, so fantastic. And so you support health, weight management. Okay, so sometimes we talk about most of you guys who go gym, yeah, you go take some, little knuckles, to keep yourself fit and all of that. So yeah, we're telling you the health benefits of mango. So as you eat mangoes, trust me, it helps you stay wavy. Okay, so let's give you a quick breakdown here. The fiber keeps you full longer, reducing unnecessary snacking, while the nutrients support a balanced diet. Wonderful. So it also contains powerful antioxidants. Compounds like magnesium help fight oxidative stress and inflammation in the body. In summary, mangoes are nutrient-rich food that supports the immune system, digestion's eye health, skin vitality, and heart function. They also provide natural energy and helpful antioxidants. Adding mangoes to your diet is an easy way to boost overall wellness while enjoying something naturally sweet and refreshing. Oh my goodness, I really love this part. It's actually adding, by you and I adding mangoes to our diet. It is an easy way to boost overall wellness while enjoying something naturally sweet and refreshing. That sounds so fantastic and yummy, yummy, yummy. So when you're going out on a weekend date, hello, let me just smile a little bit. When you're going out on a weekend date, please do all you can to just avoid every other pastries, avoid every other thing, and just go for mangoes, okay? Trust me, you're gonna love it. You're not gonna regret it, okay? So today, we just gave you the health benefits of eating mangoes, taking mangoes, enjoying mangoes, and of course, staying refreshed with mangoes. That's pretty much what we'll be doing right away here. Let's quickly go on a short music break, and when we come back, don't forget we have this fantastic top stories that we have for you. And of course, we'll be doing something very special from Alex Warren, and he calls this one Ordinary. Stay tuned and don't touch the dial. Eating wonderful mangoes and staying lovely with your family this weekend. So that is Ordinary by Alex Warren. Oh my goodness, I really love this particular track so much. It pulls my And it takes me to a very high climax. Don't forget it's weekend already, so you just need to find anything that makes you feel happy. Okay, just be happy, be excited. That's one greatest gift that you have brought away this morning. Okay, so let's quickly take you to the top stories segments that we have for you this morning. If you're just joining us, time check is 7:58 on the DOT. And first on our top stories this morning, we'll start with the Cross River State, situations going on here. We have the Cross River State Police Command has noted a viral video circulating on X, formerly Twitter, alleging unlawful entry and indiscriminate arrest at White House Lodge, Calabar. The combined state unequivocally, states that the officers featured in the video are operatives of the State Criminal Investigation Department, State CID, and crack unit who were engaged in a targeted intelligence driving operation. So the action was executed pursuant to a duly endorsed petition from the National Cybercrime Center, Abuja, concerning serious allegations of computer-related fraud, money laundering, and offense and advance fee fraud. The operations was intelligence driven and not a random situations as that was widely reported or circulated. However, the Commissioner of Police has ordered an immediate review of the incident to ensure full compliance with due process. Any officer found to have acted outside the law will be dealt with accordingly. The public is urged to remain calm and avoid spreading unverified information. Now, the command remains committed to lawful, professional, and accountable policing. Signed, ASP Sunday Etokba, ANPR, MNIMSA, a police public relation officer, Commissioner of Police, Cross River State Command. Okay, so right away here, I think my own take in this regards has to do with the fact that, whether we like it or not, Nigerian policing system, has to, change. The system has to, be a bit kind of developed, to a standard, so a well, a global standard practices and all of that. So the situations where we have police officers going for arrest, and then the next thing is, trying to coerce, trying to force people, and then bungling into a building, without a proper due processes. You knock on someone's door, the person comes out, and you introduce yourself, show your arrest warrants and all of that. Can't we do something so nice? Can't we, arrest people, with dignity? So irrespective of what crime people have actually committed, I think it's high time we arrest people with dignity. We literally do not need to, force people into, that kind of arrest where, you just have to bungle into someone's home, and the next thing you're trying to, strangle the person into your vehicle and all of that. So I think this part of it is not something we really, really want to appreciate, so long as, a live citizenry is concerned. We have rights, yes. But irrespective of what crime the person have committed, you don't need to bungle into people's homes late at night, try to coerce them or try to force them into a kind of you must have to, attitude. No, you've already surrounded the compound, so why not deliberately, enter the compound with respect? Yeah, we are Nigerians, we have rights, keep to talk to us humanly. Just like what I experienced in UK when I was there, US, you just see the police come and say, hey, you're under arrest, you have to pull up, put your hands down, put your hands up, straight, they ask you a question like, do you need ice cream? I said yes. You need ice cream, you need something, they get to entertain you, they get to make you feel happy and excited. They don't need to bungle you as if even an animal deserve respect. In some countries, there's a way you bully an animal. Trust me, you've been arrested. You face charges. So please, I think the ASP Sunday Echopa, has come out, on behalf of the commissioner, said a lot of things here that we must have to deal with Nigerian citizens with respect, and just so that the law are not also caught up with you. So just so we know that investigation have been promised to be carried out, and then if this is found true that this particular scene was actually what it is, trust me, these police officers will have to face the squab of the rod. Okay, so right away here, a second on our top stories that we have nurse remanded over alleged abortion related death of NYSC member in Ogun State. What a sad story here. Okay, so we have a magistrate court sitting in Isabo, Abeokuta, Ogun State, has ordered a remain of a 37-year-old nurse, Kayinde Adesanya, for 60 years, 60 days over her alleged involvement in an unlawful abortion that reportedly led to the death of a 23-year-old National Youth Service Corps member, Victoria Ario. Adesanya was arraigned on Thursday on a four-count charge bordering on conspiracy, procurement of unlawful abortion, and murder. According to the police, the alleged offenses were committed between January and March 2026 at the Ikerodu area of Ladere in Abeokuta. Prosecuting counsel Solomon Babalola told the court that drugs supplied by the defendant for the purpose of terminating a pregnancy resulted in the death of the victim. The charge sheet stated that Adesanya and others now at large conspired to procure an abortion, an offense punishable under Section 516 of the Criminal Code of Laws of Ogun State 2006. She was further accused of unlawfully supplying drugs to induce abortion, contrary to Section 230 of the same law. In addition, the prosecution alleged that the defendant conspired to commit murder and unlawfully caused the death of Ayero by administering abortion drugs, offenses punishable under Section 324, beg your pardon, and 319 of the Criminal Code. Presiding Magistrate O.O. Sam Obaleye granted the prosecution's applications to remand the defendants at the Ibarra Correctional Center pending legal advice from the Ogun State Director of Public Prosecutions DPP. The case was adjourned till May 26, 2026. Police investigations also linked the pregnancy to an alleged relationship between the deceased and Abbas Olalekan, an NYC inspector in Abeokuta South local government area. Olaleka had earlier been arraigned before another magistrate court and charged with conspiracy, an attempt to procure abortion. He pleaded not guilty and was granted bail in the sum of 500,000 naira. Oh my goodness, I feel a bit so worried. I feel so very disturbed about this particular situation that actually took place. Over the week, a lot of presidents have come out to say so many things in this regards. And so, but talking about this particular scenario where you're having an unprotected affair, and then you feel so safe, and then when something when something of this nature happens, we'll begin to ask questions like what actually happened, and all of this. When we're talking about intimacy on most of our shows, don't forget, just last year we carried out a program that has to do with youth hangout, and so we educated young persons about intimacy, lifestyle, and of course most of our shows are carrying all of this. So we're talking about when and where, and situations where you're going to find yourself and you feel like you are not safe to do this, and then don't forget, we've been talking about consistently and currently, using of your condoms. On the other hand, we talk about the issues where it has to do with people, inducing, their subordinate just simply because of positions, authorities, finding yourself in, a position of authority and all of that. So at some point in time, I think people should, be caused to face the law squarely, irrespective of who is involved in all of that. Now, she has lost a life, not minding, what the situation really looks like for the family at this point in time. It's so sad that this has happened. We just hope that we could just say, hey, rest in perfect peace. But here, a fine of 500,000 naira for a life lost is just a kind of something we just hope that the court, at the end of the day, if found guilty, as speculated, would actually be caused to face the law squarely. And also, I think this is why sometimes a lot of persons have reservations, to make in regards to NYHC campaign. What really happens there. I don't want to twist the acronyms that people are already using on social media platforms and all of that, describing the situations that, especially, that female students or female core members face at camp. Talking about assault, talking about sexual harassment and all of these activities in camps. But however, I think there should be more, some modalities, put in place to checkmate the activities of core members and staffers, at the camp. And also, I think it's quite important that, whether we like it or not, when you find yourself in places of this nature, there have been several warnings that we must have to desist, from any sexual activities, related activities within the time frame that we find ourselves in camp. Irrespective of where is involved, we just hope that come May 26th, Nigerians would definitely be sitting close to their TVs, in internet services to ensure that we get to the root of all of these. If this particular said um, director, is found guilty, I think we should have to see him face the law squarely. Okay, so that's pretty much what we'll be doing there. We'll go on a short music break, and when we are back, don't forget, we'll still bring to you more of our top stories that we have for you this morning. So right away here, we'll be doing something very interesting from Samuel, and he calls this one Back to Front. Stay tuned and don't touch the dial. Of course, the 27th day in the month of March in the year 2026. And this is breathed by Ollie Alexander. Years and years as friends. Don't forget, we played you a whole lot of good tracks. Don't forget today's Friday and a beautiful week. And right away here. Okay, so I told you we're still going to come back to the top stories segments that we have for you. And today on our top stories that we have here, again, we have the Cross River State Secretary, ASEC approves this rehabilitation of key projects, BOs, transmissions, and others. Okay, so we have Cross River State SEC. Talking about the Cross River State Executive Council, SEC has unveiled an expansive package of reforms and infrastructure commitments, approving about 339.9 million naira for student examination registration, endorsing major road projects, and advancing strategic economic and public service initiatives aimed at repositioning the state in 2026. The approvals were reached at the Council's first meeting of the year held March 18 at the Executive Council chamber in Calabar and presided over by Governor Basi Ochu alongside Deputy Governor Peter Ode and other senior officials. The key highlight is the approval of 339.903 million naira to register 12,589 indigenous candidates for the 2026 examinations conducted by the West African Examination Council, a move expected to reduce financial pressures on families while expanding access to education. In a parallel push to strengthen infrastructure, the Council approved the construction and rehabilitation of critical road networks spanning Ikom, Obudu, Odukpani, Obanliko, Bekwara, Abi, Etung, Bakassi, and Calabar South. Priority works include emergency repairs along the Ikom-Obudu corridor, interventions on Oban Ikang Road, new road constructions in Akpaboyo, and rehabilitation within the Calabar metropolis. Beyond roads, the Council okayed key capital projects, including the constructions of a Nigerian Air Force hangar, apron at Magridekbo International Airport, as well as urgent channelization works in flood-prone areas such as Parliamentary Extension, Jonathan Bypass, and Ecot Ansa Axis. A major economic milestone is the ratifications of the engagement of Singapore Cooperation Enterprise to develop a comprehensive framework and master plan for the proposal Bakassi Port City, an initiative seen as pivotal to unlocking maritime, trade, and investment potential in the state. On governance and institutional reform, the Council approved the institutionalization of a staff permanent management framework and service contract system across the public service, alongside the upgrade of the Cross River State Management Development Institute into Public Service Development Academy to strengthen capacity building and administrative efficiency. Further approvals include the ratifications of a newly crafted State Civil Service Song, additional furnishing of the Presidential Lodge, and the release of 790 million 790,602 million naira. Beg your pardon, right away here. Further approvals include the ratifications of a newly crafted State Civil Service Song, additional furnishings of the Presidential Lodge, and the release of 790,602,256 naira for hosting obligations and preparatory works at the Calabar International Convention Center ahead of AFSNET 2026. On the legislative front, the several executive bills were cleared for transmission into the State House of Assembly, covering pension reforms, taxes and levies, revenue administration, consumer protection amendments, and the establishment of a tree crops development agency. The Council also ratified a public-private partnership arrangement to revitalizing the Cross River State Water Board Limited, targeting improved water supply and service delivery statewide. Speaking at the meeting, Governor Ochu reaffirmed his administration's commitment to inclusive governance and economic expansion, urging political appointees to intensify efforts in attracting investment and boosting internally generated revenue. He disclosed that additional appointments are on the way to broaden participation in governance. As the administration nears its third anniversary, heads of administrations, departments, and agencies have been directed to submit performance reports by May 1st, 2026. The governor also ordered all political appointees seeking to contest in the 2027 general elections to resign on or before March 26, in line with provisions of the Electoral Act. The resolutions, as communicated by Commissioner for Information Erasmus Ekpan, underscore a coordinated push towards infrastructure renewal, education support, economic diversification, and institutional reforms under the administration's People First agenda. Okay, so right away here, I think these stories for me particularly, I would have loved to see these when it has to do with new government. You know, when you come on board as a new a leadership, that is when you're supposed to dole out all of these projects that you actually have for the people. You know, most of these projects I think are just a kind of trap for me. You know, you feel like yeah, during my second tenure, I was gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and all of that. So I think it's quite okay, but there again, for me, I think whatever happens currently, you know, especially this particular period of time, I think is just politically inclined, and as such, people should just be very careful when they, sing hallelujah praises, to our politicians, especially this season, where we are going to have a lot. And then talking about, resigning, we've had a lot of persons who are saying, "Hey, I'm going to go to my constituency, I'm going to go to my ward to go, a contest, to go a big nomination form to contest for, elections." And so the governor is saying, hey, if you must have to do that, then you have to resign your position. And we've seen a lot of appointees daring the governor, according to some quarters, we've seen a lot of persons saying, well, they were not going to resign. They were going to stay there and stay contest and all of that. So, and then we begin to beg for answers to this, important question. At some one point in time, do we have, employers, being employees being tough and of course more sophisticated, and more relaxed and feel comfortable, turning down others from superiors or employers and all of that. So I think it's quite going to be a very dramatic one here to see what is going to play out in most states of the federation, especially the FCT, let's say at the federal level, where we have the president ordering his ministers and appointees who have, intentions to run as state governors, senators, or run for whatever elected positions in their respective states, to actually, turn in their resignation letters. Okay, so talking about development in Cross River State, we've seen situations where a lot of streets in Calabar have also been, touched, asphalt and all of that. So bringing good roads and all, and so on and so forth. And so people are talking about waterboard axis where a lot of those plots of land have been sold out, I remember back then, allegedly, when the former vice president of Nigeria was contesting, and so he was quoted saying that, when he becomes the president, he's going to, give some parts to his friends. And so people were saying, yeah, so you want to be the president, so you can sell some parts to your friends. And so we keep asking, what happened to our water board? These are key projects that any administration should actually take vital, steps in ensuring that these things are done on your first, on your first day in office. There's nothing wrong saying, hey, I want to supply water. I don't think there will be anything wrong if a governor, emerges, and then the first thing you need to say is that, okay, I'm going to focus on providing water, and I want to make sure every street, every household has water, and that's the only project I want to deliver in my tenure as the governor. And you do that successfully, trust me, it's going to be something, that people will remember you for, that this particular governor came and provided water. And there's nothing wrong if we have another governor come out to say, look, in my 8 years, in my 200 years in office, I want to provide just electricity. And in providing electricity, every household must have electricity and very affordable. And trust me, people will remember you that this was the Michael Faraday of our time as a governor, who provided constant electricity supply in the state. And then in another year, we have another governor who say, look, I want to focus on education. We are going to have a good, sustainable education, for our children, for our generations yet unborn. And you provide key, infrastructure. But here we having most of our governors, jacking everything. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want you bring hospital. I want to bring health, education, security. I want to do this. I want to do it. Oh my goodness. And at the end of the day, you have them achieve nothing, absolutely nothing, rather than budgeting monies. Just like what is trending in track.com, ng. So we're talking about how federal governments have disbursed billions of nairas to National Population Commission, and up till today we've not had them rolling out sensors. Yet billions of nairas have been spent, disbursed, but nothing has happened. Not to talk about, many agencies that they have billions being, released, for just providing computer sets. And I'm asking, why can't you come to a tagbo? Let's buy a computer set and give to you. We have computers in our homes, so we could just, willingly give out. We have a lot of Nigerians who have a lot of computer systems in their homes that they are no longer using, but they're still functional. I wouldn't mind going to UK, to pack them for free, come and give to you guys, rather than budgeting billions. That is enough and enough, to provide, water supply, build classrooms for most of our childrens and all of that. So, and then develop our health centers, healthcare facilities, and all of that. But here, we're having all of this kind of promises from our politicians, and yet nothing seemed to be working out. But however, here we have the State Executive Council, are saying, look, this is what the blueprints we are actually putting. Of course, the work frame we actually have for Cross River State, and we just hope that my own question is, the governor has come out, or the Executive Council have come out within this short period of time, to say, hey, this is what we want to do. Is this actually achievable? Yes, for me, if you ask me, it's achievable. Not because the money is not there. The money is there, but it takes somebody who is willing to actually do the needful, to actually judiciously, do it. Now, talking about water supplies in Cross River State, I am just wondering, each and every time I pass through the streets in Calabar, I usually put my eyes around the streets. You notice that a lot of pipes, water pipelines, are broken, are destroyed. So I'm just thinking about the cost. It will cost the state government, to retap the entire state, the entire Calabar, to ensure that we have water. But for me, on the other hand, I would have suggested that each street in Calabar, if it is possible, I know it's possible, each street in Calabar should have up to 5, 6, depending on how, the distance. If possible, each pole, just like we have NEPA currently supplying, how they call it, meters in each of the poles. So if it is possible, each poles, each meter should have, a steady solar panel water supply. With these, trust me, a lot of persons will not have to suffer. Yeah, when the election comes to say, hey, this governor came and gave us water and we are having water. So it won't gonna be a big deal. Okay, so that's pretty much what we'll be doing there. Before we go, we still have one last on our top story this morning before we turn on our phone lines for the conversation of the day. Christians, Muslims, women unite to form vigilante group in Jos patrol streets at night to combat crime. Okay, so we talked about this story yesterday, and we talked about how these two religious bodies have come together to say, hey, look, we want to ensure that we save Jos, we want to save our communities, we want to save our society, for our children, for ourselves, and unborn generations. And this is just nothing but a welcome development. Okay, so right away here, phone lines are open, but before we call it out, let's quickly go on a short music break. And when we are back, don't forget, we'll bring to you the conversation of the day. And I'll be playing something very interesting from Wiz the Meg, Biggs and Honey. And it calls this one Take My Mind. Stay tuned and don't touch the dial. On 103.5 Unicorn Radio International. I really love that particular. Take my mind, just take my mind to somewhere. Make me feel happy, no matter what it is. I don't want we're going to spend the money. Okay, so something happened just a couple of hours ago. And then this has to do with young men and women. When I tell you guys, relax, calm down, do the calms. Okay, so this particular story reads that yeah, the young guy actually requested for a date, and she said yes, let's go on a date. And then what happened? You got there, and you went. Both of you consumed 50. Kai, oh boy, 52K. Oh my goodness! And then when it was time to pay to do the paying, the guy said, well, guy, baby girl, you have to bring what you have. You don't bring what you have. And then the girl said, damn, that was sounding so embarrassing, so she has to cough out the entire money and pay. And the guy said, wow, that's fantastic, so can we, and the guy said, can we what? Oh my goodness. Hey, so what's wrong with you? Can't you just say, hey guy, don't worry, get me mango, just mango alone. It's okay. Just mango, water, even if it's pure water. Please take pure water. Even if it's just sachets of water, please take. Please, can't you eat in your home? Please, it's Friday, okay? You have to eat at home, get yourself prepared, just visit. Some of you that love going for dates and you'll be saying, hey, I am pressed. Please depress yourself at home before going out. It's Friday, it's weekend. Don't just go and then abeg carry transport. Follow no roads, but they say make you carry transport. Okay, so right away this morning, that's pretty much you'll be doing there. But now let's take you through the conversation of the day. Don't forget our phone lines will be open. Now, let me quickly bring to you some of the preambles that I have here for you. Now, Obubra General Hospital in Cross River State is a crisis zone. That is the stories actually coming out from this particular general hospital. Now, a their lack of medical staff and functional facilities, including toilets, has led to the heartbreaking situations where patients are forced to use nearby bushes. Oh my goodness. This is not acceptable, but however, this is not only inhuman, but a clear failure of healthcare delivery in a placement to save lives. With significant healthcare budgets allocated, the urgent question is, where is this money being spent? The people of Cross River State deserve accessible, quality healthcare. It's a fundamental human right, not a privilege. We demand answers and actions now. So the questions we have for you is, why do we have a failed healthcare system in Nigeria? And so we are asking you, to our very own dear students who are going on internship opportunities, who are going on posting opportunities, what do you see? What do you notice? And so we are asking, why do we have a failed healthcare system in Nigeria? Okay, so our phone lines are open 0809 4444 0809 4444 Don't forget to send that your message and your name and where you're actually sending your message from or where you're calling from, to the same phone numbers on WhatsApp. Okay, so we'll be on the short break. We'll be playing music for you while we're waiting for your calls. To come in. So we're gonna have this conversation right away here. I'll be doing something from Hogel topic, Arash Dekon, and he calls this one I Adore You. Okay, so stay tuned. Don't forget, we're still waiting for your calls to be part of this conversation. I really, really adore you this morning. And if you're just joining us, it's 8:41 under DOT, right away here on 103.5 Unicorn Radio International. Today we're talking about the reasons why we're having, a poor healthcare, a system in Nigeria, generally in Nigeria. Don't forget that we're talking about Cross River State particularly. And so this issue of poor healthcare delivery is just very unbearable. Now, let's not forget that in the 2024 fiscal year, Cross River State approved a total of 42, billion naira for the healthcare sectors, covering both the Ministry of Health and the Primary Healthcare Development Agency. However, reports suggest a significant budget performance failure, with only 6.45 billion, actually spent by the end of 2024, representing an under expenditure of over 35 billion naira. Now, a key 2025-2026 budgetary context. When you look at the 2025, allocation as of October 2025, report has it that indicate hospitals and healthcare centers were actually allocated a whopping sum of 4.8 billion naira for constructions and about 2.8 billion for rehabilitation. In 2026 proposals, the governor proposed a 780 billion naira, total budget, with about 163 billion allocated to social services, which include healthcare, education, and social protection. Now, the 2024 health sector allocations aim to actually address healthcare delivery, but performance report from the investigator.ng highlights major challenges in fund utilization. And this has been a very big and disastrous situation. And I keep asking, do people actually, come from this particular, state? Do people come from these particular communities? Do people come from this particular, respective local governments? Most of our general hospitals, when you go to their local government, areas, you begin to ask yourself some funny questions like, do we really have government? Do we really have people, who are actually supposed, to take care of these particular things? Now, look at this, the amount of money we're talking about, billions of nairas, and yet nothing is done. You go to most of the facilities, you see that, they are using candles at night, no electricity, no chairs, no beds, and nothing, absolutely nothing. And then most of these, nurses, most of these healthcare workers are being forced to even use their own personal funds, to get, medications, for their patients. And this is something I have experienced, firsthand. You go to a facility, and then the next thing you're asked to go buy woods. They're asked to go buy cotton woods, per se. You're asked to go buy a syringe. You're asked to go do this. And don't forget that the former president of Nigeria, when the wife was complaining of what happened in Asura Clinic, where as little as syringe, was not found. But yet, billions, amounting to almost trillions, have been spent on that particular, healthcare facility. And it becomes a very huge problem. So we are asking this question here. To you out there, how do you feel when you take your brother, your sister, your mother, your relative, whoever it is, to the healthcare facility, and there are no means of tracing them? And when it's time for elections, you will be the first person to go under the rain, under the sun, to campaign for these same guys who will budget so much money and release so much funds, but yet we're not seeing the effect of all of these funds. It's as disastrous as that. Okay, so for you out there, whatever is your take, whatever is your thinking, whatever is your making, do all you can to ensure that when it's time for elections, we have to remind them of these things that, look, you have done this, you have said this, but nothing is actually happening. And so that of Obubra has come to light. I don't know what is happening in Odikwane local government area, what is happening in Bakatsi, what is happening in Yakol local government area, Obanliko, Ikom, Itung, Bekwara, and all of other local government area combined together. But however, I think, priority should not only be given to, the metropolis alone, talking about Calabar municipality or Calabar South as the case may be. We also want to see all of these beautiful, governance, reaching our, hardcore local areas. Okay, so that's pretty much what we'll be doing over there. Right away here, we'll go on a short, music break. And when we are back from this music break, trust me, we're going to take you through the newspaper segment of the segment of the show. Okay, so right away here, we'll be doing something from a Daring, and he calls this one Fade Away. Stay tuned and don't touch the dial. Okay, so Nigeria is actually fading into the dark where our wonderful and amazing politicians are actually leaving us. Okay, so it's just a very sad one here. Okay, so right away here, this is I'm fading away. For you that is preparing for a weekend, please do all you can to ensure that you see that particular spot you want to go and visit. Please do all you can to ensure that you take what you know you can actually afford to pay, in case so that somebody will not say, I'm fading away. Okay, so right away, let's quickly take you through the newspaper segment of the morning buzz and then bring to you what is happening in Nigeria, cutting across your state, Akwa Ibom state, every state, Nigerian, and of course, far beyond Nigeria. And right away this morning, we'll be starting with this day newspaper with the biggest stories here. We have 8,453 party delegates storm Abuja for APC national conventions as Tinubu's affirmation. Okay, so here this day newspaper is saying about 8,453 party delegates storm Abuja for APC national convention and saying, hey, we want Mr. President, who said if I didn't provide, constant electricity supply, don't support me, my second tenure bid, and saying they are actually going to affirm Mr. President that Mr. President, don't worry, that was just campaign promises. We want you to go back again. Well, read all of this on page 5 of this day newspaper, the 27th day, the month of March in the year 2026. Okay, so still from this day newspaper, we have state police gains momentum as IGP submit about 75-page framework to Senate. Okay, so we anticipate to see how that really works out. Okay, so that's pretty much what we're doing from that newspaper. Up next is the Daily Champion newspaper. We have insecurity. State police get major boost as IGP submits framework for its establishment to Deputy Senate President. Okay, credible monetary policy. We have stakeholders' cooperations crucial to microeconomic stability. Read all of this on page 6, page 8, and page 9 of the Daily Champions newspaper. Up next is the Vanguard newspaper this morning with the biggest stories. We have support for Tinubu ignites fresh rumbles in PDP. I read all of this on page 5. Oil prices rises to $108 as Iran describes U.S. plan to end war one-sided. The Daily Independent is up next there with the biggest stories talking about the rising food prices expose Nigerian supply chain failures. All set as 8,453 delegates elect new APC leadership tomorrow. Okay, so Nigerians will actually be cross-fighting and sitting behind to watch what is actually going to be happening in Abuja. Okay, so the Friday newspaper this morning, air scarcity imminent as chick shortage hit push prices up. Okay, so most of us who cannot eat without egg or chimo, we're really gonna find it so tough this weekend. But God no go shame us. Okay, read all of this on page 4. ASU issues 4-day ultimatum to federal government over new salary structure. I thought the federal government come out to say, oh, we've not had anything. Oh, okay, let's leave it at that. Okay, but ASU issues 4-day ultimatum to federal government over new salary structures. Tragic story of Peace Moses, lady killed by convoy in River State. Kano pit collapse. We have 2 deaths and 2 rescued. The Daily Times newspaper is up next there with the biggest stories. We have State Police, IGP Summit Establishment Framework to Deputy Senate President. A court judgment will not hinder OceanGate contributions to Nigerians' energy sector, okay, according to management. And that's pretty much what we're doing from the newspaper segment of the Morning Buzz. But before we go, let's quickly take our sport lovers to the Punch Sports Extra this morning with the biggest stories here. Tosin Diamond exclusive, moving from being captain at youth level to joining the senior squad taught me humility. In the senior team, you are surrounded by players who have achieved a lot in the game and have more experience. My Falconers to Falcons story and journey. Okay, Iwobi gets EPL Player of the Month North as I wants to become Chelsea legend, according to Casaido. Roddy fears Madrid move as Arsenal prepare Cadatavarez Leria. Bit okay. I love this name. If you can pronounce it, don't worry, I have something talking for you. Devils open to EPL offers for Rashford. Nwabi replaces Basi ahead of Iran-Jordan clashes. Maiden Eagles call up shocks soar as Fernandez need to make mark with Eagles. Al-Tihad revives Salah interest. Franklin fires Ituama, running ahead of Saturday bout. Mati brace for Nigerians' world title ambitions. Okay, so that's pretty much what we're doing from the newspaper segment of the Morning Buzz. Okay, so right away here, before we go, we quickly take you through the quotes of the day. For the quotes of the day this morning, we have happiness is a choice. Make that choice today. Happiness is a choice. Make that choice today. It has been a very wonderful and a fantastic morning show with you on the Morning Buzz Hour. Don't forget we break to you the weather forecast, the national holidays, and a fantastic moment will break to you the top stories in the newspaper segments, and of course the conversation of the day and the quotes of the day. I'm so happy to be your morning companion. Or boss, or something. Like I've always say, don't forget to elevate your morning and fuel your success. This weekend, don't forget to carry your transport and stay out of trouble. Be the best that you can always be at all times. And to our wonderful technical teams, and thanks so very much for all you do. And to our listeners out there, don't shift the dial because we have a whole lot of programs lined up here to make your weekend an amazing and a fantastic one. From me to you, to have a pleasant and a blissful morning. Bye for now.